Hello, y'all, and welcome back to the OYO.RUN podcast. This podcast is dedicated to the self-coached runner. I consider it and hoping for it to be the online resource for the self-coached runner. And so far in this podcast, we're very early on. I have been doing mostly introductory episodes. In this episode, I want to introduce a new series, a series that will be ongoing throughout the tenure of this podcast. And these are, I'm calling On the Leash. They're a recurring series that are designed to examine control structures, power dynamics, and constraints that shape runners and our running. This idea came to me while I was walking my dogs. When I'm in a park, I'm able to let my dogs roam free and be on an off leash, and they get to explore and run fast and chase balls and play and do all the wonderful things. But when we get into the city, when we get out onto the streets, even when I walk out my front door, because I have dogs that will bolt, I put them on a leash for their own safety and for my safety. And the idea of a leash just stuck with me about how often myself as a runner and the athletes that I coach as a coach are unaware or are functioning under control of leashes. Some of these are examined in terms of things you already know you're leashed. You're leashed by what your weight is, let's say, in terms of how you push off the ground, or you're leashed by your ability to run a certain pace. You can't just decide to run 4 minutes and 5 seconds a mile if you are in 7-minute mile shape. So there are these constraints and limiters that are impacting your freedom of movement, your freedom of choice, your freedom of control. And so this series will continue to point out this one fundamental insight. We don't get to choose whether we have leashes. The question is whether we can see them operating and work with them consciously. So these leashes are everywhere. Again, some of them we're painfully cognizant of, and others are hidden and less obvious. The challenging ones are the ones that we're not even aware of. And this is the motivation behind my decision to highlight the idea of truth as the first leash in the series. For many listeners, this leash will fall into the category of unexamined leashes. Speaking of unexamined, this is the whole point. Title of this episode is Borrowed Truth May Be the Ultimate Leash. So how do you know what you know? How do you know that what you hold to be true is actually true? Now, I know that's a big question, but you need to realize that everything is hinging on this question. How do you know what you know? And how do you know that what you hold to be true is actually true? Many truths present as clarity, conviction, knowing yourself, but it's almost always someone else's map. We can't actually know so many things about our reality, and we're dependent upon experts for so much of what we know about our world. It's important to borrow truth in many cases. Take something as basic as the earth being round or flat. Now, I'm not a conspiracy theorist, though I do spend time researching them and thinking about them because they're very, very interesting. But most of us have to admit we have not seen the earth from space, so we have no direct personal experience of the earth being round. Now, we've seen the photos, the satellite images, models, globes, mathematical proofs for some of you even. But your knowing that the earth is round or flat is still borrowed. And thank God, because there is too much out there in the world to know, too many amazing things. But it is unacceptable to not know in relation to your own inner experience, especially in relation to a person's values and the way that you see reality or your worldview. You are operating as if things are true all the time. And it's important for the effective and efficient operation of your nervous system to have these be as clean and clear a signal as possible, because this is how we stay safe. But in a race, do you know what's true? When you're under duress, under the stress of what the race requires, can you ask yourself what is true and be able to function enough to regulate your breath, to relax, to make decisions? Now I'm going to say, why don't you ask this simple question? What is true in, of, or for me? You can start with just what is true. Cuts right through the noise, sends a clear signal. Now, I like adding the in, of, and for because it clarifies the situation. I'll unpack that in just a second. But when you ask this question, what is true in, of, or for me, your body answers immediately and honestly if you're listening. Some of you may disagree with me here, but I have a lot of personal experience, both as an athlete and as a coach, that the answers do lie within you. Truth lives in your blood, in your bones, in your breath, and in your specific relationship to ground. The nervous system opens towards truth and closes towards untruth. I'll repeat that again. The nervous system, which is basically your mind is within this nervous system, what we call the mind. It is going to open up towards something that is true and is going to close down, shut you off towards things that are untrue. This isn't mysticism. Every single runner has felt both of these two states. So if you want to open towards truth, use that simple question. Is it true? So is this pain I'm feeling true? I can't go any faster. Is that true? I need to slow down. Is that true? I need to speed up. Is that true? Ask your body. Ask your blood. Ask your bones. Is it true in me? This is my inner experience at this juncture. Do I have this in me to slow down, speed up, adjust, go faster, run with that person? Whatever the case may be. Is it true in me? Is it true of me? Is it representative of who I am? Does it make me feel more me? Does it feel free? Is it for me? Is it true for me? Is this moving towards what I want and what I want to get out? So the in me is the deeper inner experience of what you're feeling and sensing as you. Of me is how you are as your whole positioning of who you are. And for me is it working towards what you're trying to achieve. Now, some of you may say, I just can't do this when I'm under duress, when I'm tired, when I'm feeling beat up. And what I will say to you, the other alternative is shut down. You're going to shut down anyway. It's coming. Unless you've run a very measured, consistent, slow, and you've run well within what you're capable of. But for many people at some point in time, especially relating to a command performance type goal, you're out in the unknown. And when you're in the unknown, you need to know what is true in you, of you, and for you. So I get it, but that it can be hard. But this is why you must practice it. You can't expect the question, is it true, to take you very far if you haven't worked with it in practice, in training, in lower stakes races. Listen, your nervous system is hardwired to keep you safe. And if you ask it about your truth when you're under fire and you haven't practiced, it's going to laugh at you at best and shut you down at worst. So I want to invite you into exploring your borrowed truths. Your truth is non-exportable. Can't be provided to anyone else. And so is everyone else's. You can't your truth is non-importable. No one can know this for you, and you can't give it to someone else. And self-coaching is permission to treat your own inner experience as a primary source. And this podcast is dedicated to helping you explore, discover, undermine, reinforce, learn more about yourself. What's really interesting about this, if you explore truth and get down below borrowed truths and into the space in which you are exploring, questioning, creating your own truth, you get faster. But I'll tell you that getting faster is simply the side effect of knowing your truth. You must realize that the journey of self-coaching is one's unique, idiosyncratic pursuit of your own truth. The truth living in your bones and in your blood, pumped as air through your lungs, felt as power and fatigue in your relation to ground. This is what we do it for, ultimately. Sure, we all want to get faster, but we really want to know what we're made of, what we can withstand, what we are here on this planet to experience. And what we learn is our truth. It's not borrowed. It's an authentically earned truth. So don't let your truths go unexamined, lest they not hold water. I love this quote from the great Terence McKenna, psychonaut extraordinaire. If it's real, it can take the pressure. And please remember, what is your truth is not meant for anyone else to experience. They have their own truth to explore. Godspeed, my friends. Be well.